Hello, I'm Michael Sterling and welcome to Broadway World TV. We're here today at the beautiful 1,800-seat Fred Cavali Theater in the Thousand Oaks Civic Arts Plaza, just outside of Los Angeles. This beautiful venue and setting is home to the award-winning Cabrio Music Theater, which begins its 2011-2012 season this week with another lineup of spectacular shows. The roster includes Ring of Fire, the music of Johnny Cash, Once Upon a Mattress, Meet Me in St. Louis, and let's see, one other show. It's about a young orphan, a millionaire, a scheming con artist, and a bevy of adorable children. Now let's see, what could that be? I'm going to take a wild guess. How about Annie? One of the world's most celebrated musicals, that's for sure. It is Annie, and with one delicious dish and iconic television star playing the incorrigible Miss Hannigan, this production of Annie will surely soar to new heights. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the one and only Miss Sally Struthers. Sally, welcome back to Cabrio Music Theater.
Thank you,
are
Michael.
not a stranger here.
No, it's my second time, so.
And you have come back an Ovation Award winner.
That was pretty unexpected.
Your work in Cinderella.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thunk it? When I think about the actresses that were up for the same award I was, and the larger parts they had in the productions they were in, and for some reason it seemed to me like it looked to others that I had somebody stuff the ballot box, but I had nothing to do with it, I swear. But what a joy to win that award.
And Louis brings you back to do a role that you are certainly no stranger to.
I have done Annie quite a bit and never tire of it.
I want you to tell me that wonderful story about when you first auditioned for the tour of Annie.
I flew into New York to first meet with Martin Charnin, the lyricist, and I read for him and got him chuckling and had a nice visit, and he said, "Oh, I think you'd be great. Let me take you over to the dance studios and you can meet Peter Gennaro, who's the choreographer." And he was a lovely little man with a bilateral lisp, and he spoke like this, so Sally Struthers had lots of sibilant S's in it. And he taught me a few dance steps. And he said, "You know, for somebody that's untrained, you move really well. I think you could do this part hands down, Sally." So then he said, "Well, let's take you over to see Charles Strauss, who wrote the music for Annie." And I thought, this is going to be a win, because Charles Strauss wrote the All in the Family theme song. And I went in, I went, "Charles!" And I brought sheet music with me from a show I had just done in Roanoke, Virginia, called Only a Kingdom, about the love story of King Edward VIII, who abdicated the throne for Wallace Simpson. And I played the comic relief in this rather dull musical. And so I brought the comedy music with me because I thought Charles Strauss in the last 25 years has heard 800 women sing Little Girls, and he's probably bored with that. So I'm going to sing him another song, and he'll see, A, I can carry a tune, and B, I can be funny while I sing. That was not good, apparently, because I got 8 bars into it, and he turned to the producers in the room and Martin Charnin and everyone else, acting as if I'm on TV and not in his room, and said, "What in the hell is she singing that stupid song for?" The piano player kind of petered out on the keys, and I kind of petered out on the lyrics, and I just stood there, and I realized he was not happy with my choice, and now he was no longer Charles. He was Mr. Strauss. "Mr. Strauss?" He said, "Yes." I said, Good. Do you want me to sing something else?" And he said, "Yes, I would like you to hear you sing Little Girls." I said, I don't have the sheet music with me." He says, "Well, I do. I wrote it. It's right here." He whips it out, and I said, "Well, I don't have the words memorized. I'll have to read it over the accompanist's shoulder." So anyway, by the time I left Charles Strauss's apartment, I was covered in flop sweat. My clothes were soaked with perspiration. And Martin Charnin, who's a real gentleman, said, "Let me walk you down to the street and help you get a cab." And he put his hand on my back to put me in the cab, and I said, "Don't touch me!" What's the matter? I said, "I'm covered in flop sweat. It'll disgust you. Don't touch me." I said, my whole career just ended at this moment in Charles Strauss's New York apartment. And he says, "No." He says, "I'm sure you'll get the job." Next day I got the phone call, I got it. And I went out for a year and a half and had the time of my life.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And now you're here.
And now I'm here with 9 little girls, 2 dogs, a cast of adults who are incredible, and Lewis directing me again, so
Yes.
it's all win-win-win.
Sally Struthers' characterization of the often intoxicated, mean-spirited Miss Hannigan, supervisor at New York's Municipal Girls' Orphanage, is nothing short of her usual comic genius. Will you do something different this time, since it's been a while since you played that role?
Well, you wind up doing different things because the people you're playing opposite
Right.
are doing something different, and so what you did before doesn't work, or maybe I don't even remember what I did before, but I'm honestly reacting to what they're doing, and so there are things that are different. So it keeps it alive and fresh, I think.
And then sometimes you improvise here and there, don't you?
I do a lot of that, but I don't. Once it's set, I don't do it. I mean, I improvise in
Right.
the rehearsal hall, but I don't change it up once we open.
Well, I hope not.
That's not fair to the other actors.
I hope not, only because everything you do, for me, and I'm sure millions of others who have seen you on television, we love what you do, so keep doing it.
Thank you. I become a mad dog on stage. Yeah. This particular performance, I do a lot of growling and barking. I'm serious.
I believe you.
Miss Hannigan has gone stark raving mad.
She has.
Between the little girls and the alcohol, she's a mad woman now.
All right. We'll take it. We'll take it any way we can get it. Sally, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We'll see you on stage.
See you on stage.
All right. Broadway's Norman Large, Cabrio's Daddy Warbucks, cites the relevance of Annie's storyline in today's depressed economy.
It is probably more pertinent now, this show, than it has ever been since it was written in the 70s, because of the situation that we find ourselves economically and politically in right now. So it's absolutely pertinent, and it's fascinating how the issues have come alive again. For what we thought was our history and our past is now our present again.
With comedy, a strong suit in his deck of character work, musical theater, and television actor Dink O'Neill crows about his role as Rooster Hannigan. I know that Miss Struthers is particularly happy to have you playing her brother.
Well, she's a sweetheart, and we are like Mutt and Jeff together as far as height goes, and I cannot say enough wonderful things about her. I tell everybody I know that it's like going to a master class in comedy at every rehearsal, because she is just the most giving and most creative person. And the wonderful thing is, if we collaborate and somebody comes up with something and we try it, and if it works, then it's great. We hold on to it.
No stranger to the landmark musical, young Quinn Martin brings her own special brand of charm and talent to the show's title role. Is this your first time playing this particular role of Annie?
No, this is going to be my 5th time being in the show, Annie, and my 3rd time playing the role, Annie.
Really? And where else have you played it? Here in Los Angeles, or?
Yes, I played it at the Cabrio Community Theater and the Simi Valley.
Okay. And now on the big stage, because are the other theaters that were bigger as the Cavalier Theater?
The Camarillo one was a bit smaller, and then the Simi one was also a bit smaller than this, of course. But they were pretty good-sized theaters.
And now, you know, the one thing about Annie is that when you do it so many times, have you done that like within the past couple of years? Because you've grown a little bit maybe since the first time,
yes,
right?
The first time I did it, I was 10. Well, the first time I actually did the play, I was, 7?
7, I think so.
But that was like...
Sounds right.
When I was, real little, and then I did it when I was 8, and then I did it when I was 10, 11, and 12. 10, 11, 12,
so it's kind of an annual thing for you, right? And you're having a great time doing it?
Yeah, it's the best show.
And what about your cast? This is an all-new cast. What do you think of them?
Yes, it's amazing working with Sally. She's so funny. It's so hard not to laugh.
She's a funny lady.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Really funny.
And Mr. O'Neill, who we were just speaking with, Dink O'Neill.
He's great.
And Norman Large playing Daddy Warbucks.
He has an amazing voice.
Yes, he does. And he's a very good actor.
Yes, he is.
And a very nice man.
Yeah.
Just like the role, right?
Uh-huh.
Same thing. Well, I hope that you have a fantastic experience during the next 2 weeks, and I know you will.
It's amazing.
And you're such a lovely, poised young lady for being 12 years old.
Thank you.
I thought you were 20, 21 when you sat down here. Yeah, I did. I really did. All right. So thank you, and letting us know here at Broadway World what's going on in the life of Quinn Martin.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Artistic director Louis Wilkenfeld is the driving force behind Cabrio Music Theater's award-winning contributions to the performing arts in the Los Angeles area. Yeah. 6 years, ladies and gentlemen, under his jurisdiction, Cabrio Music Theater, and this is your 16th show as a director, is that right?
It is. My first show I directed here was in 1996. And I did about one a year as a director for hire, and then about 6 years ago I was asked to be artistic director. And since then I still do about one a year.
Right.
Since I hire the other directors as well.
So you're spreading it around.
Yes,
right.
Yes, and once a year I reward myself, I hire me. But I work cheap.
Well, we're glad you do.
Yeah.
We're glad you do, because we love your work out here at Cabrio. You always bring quality and class to the theater out here in Los Angeles, so...
Tell my mom.
I will. So tell us, what is different about Annie this time around? You've done it before, what, about 8 years ago?
Yes, and it's my first time to direct a show twice for the same company.
Right.
This time the big difference is Sally Struthers. She is a comic dynamo. I have to tell you that it's when I saw her do this at the Pantages 12 years ago that I fell in love with her, and I wanted her to come here and do a show. So that's where I thought of casting her as the fairy godmother in Cinderella last year.
Which was fantastic.
Oh, thank you. But it was that. I knew what she could do when she takes a role, makes it her own, and she's just a classic comic and kind of in the Lucille Ball, Carol Burnett, Eve Arden kind of style. She just takes the ball and runs with it.
No, classics. You mentioned every classic lady that I love, right, in that same sentence.
Mine too.
And Sally is certainly one of them. We thank you so much for all of the work, the hard work that you do for theater in Los Angeles.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure, and we love what we do here. We're having a great time, and thanks for coming out to play with us.
Absolutely, and all of you should come out and play with us too. Leapin' Lizards, what a cast. They don't get any better than that, right? And as we head into the holiday season, what better gift to give than the gift of the performing arts, live theater. Now's your chance to see Annie, with our special gal Sal serving up her unique brand of comedy for 10 performances only, right here on stage at the Fred Cavali Theater at the Thousand Oaks Civic Arts Plaza, October 14th through October 23rd. Tickets may be purchased by calling Ticketmaster or the theater box office at area code 805-497-2787. Tickets can also be purchased online at CabrioMusicTheater.com. On behalf of my associate producer, Jerry Evans, and the JLA Media Group, I'm Michael Sterling, and thank you for watching Broadway World TV. We'll see you next time.